Hi Kiwi, and welcome back to another episode of Hades 1. This is our mirror setup for the day. We're going to be keeping on with our 32 heat challenge, taking the aspect of Zagreus on the spear today. We're going to take the Ares keepsake and go for an Ares special build, I think. We're going to take one level of hard labor, one level of lasting consequences, maxing out jury summons, 3 levels of extreme measures, maxing out benefits package, middle management, underworld customs, forced overtime, hidden security, damage control, and 2 levels of tight deadline. We've had so many fun runs with chain skewer on the special with an Artemis build. I figure, why don't we go for an Ares build and see if we can get something going like that too. Or we don't get anything for the special, so honestly, yeah, I'm going for the meme build. Let's do it. I'll take Serrated point. Maybe we'll go, ooh, you know, this could be good for a Merciful End build. I was originally planning maybe going Ares special and then going for like a Curse of Longing build, but you know what? I'm feeling spicy today. Let's go for it. In typical fashion, I am just very bad at dealing with ringers, but I think I can make this work. Anyway, let's see. What can I talk about today? So, I guess that's a good question. Oh, we're going to be going away for a little while soon, so I gotta record some videos in advance for that. But we're going to be traveling to a city that we've never been to before to visit a friend of yours for their bachelor party, which is exciting. It sounds like we're going to be doing some weird dress affair type stuff. I think I might have talked about this in a little bit in a previous episode, but it doesn't hurt to bring it up again since we're leaving tomorrow pretty much. But basically, they're doing kind of a Regency era sort of vibe, and we've certainly been put through the ringer a little bit trying to find the clothing to fit that era, and we're definitely going to be taking bits and pieces and just making it work, I think, which is fine. But one day is going to be kind of honoring the female attire, and the other day is going to be more the masculine attire. So it was fun. We went thrift shopping a whole bunch to see what we could pick up for relatively low price, and I'd say overall we were pretty lucky. And for what we couldn't get thrifty wise, we did find you a dress that hopefully you can continue to wear outside of this party, because it's a nice kind of flower print.
Shall we continue our campaign against the dead?
Red and white flower print. Ooh, well, there's the special I wanted, but I think we're building into attack, so there we go. Okay, nice. Relatively higher tier attack. I won't complain about that. HP or coin here? Yeah, we'll go for the coin. I'll want to be able to afford as many boons as I can. We need to stack up as much Ares as we want. At minimum, we want impending doom and dire misfortune. Ideally, if we can get his attack, I guess Urge to Kill and Blood Frenzy aren't bad, but they don't really fully work with this build. At least not Blood Frenzy. Oh gosh, I'm forgetting the one, but the one that makes you deal more damage after Zeus or Chaos. I mean, Zeus's Call is pretty decent. I don't know if I want to take that early because it locks us out of some better Hermes boons. I think I'm going to go for the Chaos Gate. Let's hope we can get some attack up here. The attack up would work really well for our build. Anyway, I'll let Chaos talk first and then I'll speak.
You are already back, and you are always welcome, son of Hades.
Alrighty, let's see what you've got. Would be great for a cast build. Okay, we do get some attack damage, although I can't attack. I'm going to reroll and see if we can get an attack damage. Ooh, dash strike, perfect. That's all. That's awesome. All right, 60% more dash strike for, I think it was reduced movement speed. I didn't actually read the penalty on that one. Oops. Oh well. No, I don't think our move speed is reduced. We just have less dash. I'm not sure what our penalty was, but we'll make it work, and hopefully it doesn't hurt me too much to use. Anyway, so yeah, we went thrift shopping. We got you a dress that's kind of this black. It's mostly black with these nice white and red flower decals on them, and it works, we think, for the Regency era sort of garb a little bit.
All of us believe in you, though certainly no one so much as I.
Mostly because it kind of has that. Oh, actually, hold on. What do I want here? Yeah, I'll just take his cast. We'll sell it later. I believe we took Underworld Customs. Oh, it was we blocked view of what our next chambers were going to be. I am not going to enjoy that. Does mean it'll be harder to stack Ares or get boons that we want, but it's fine. Honestly, for that amount of dash strike up, that's honestly phenomenal for us. And these skulls are annoying, but frankly, I take them out extremely fast because Serrated Flurry does 3 hits in rapid succession, I believe, if not more.
Nix's power.
Come here, fishy. So let's see. So we got you. So this dress, kind of the way it works is it's got kind of poofier sleeves and a wide cut
Another knucklehead
chest. I don't know how to call it. Like basically, I guess it doesn't really matter which way we go. It has kind of like a rectangular cut to where the bosom sits. which seems to be common in Regency wear. It was always kind of poofy shoulders, flowery decal, and kind of a higher waisted cinch for where like the dress tightens around the waist, even potentially also just tightening over the torso a little bit. And so it was fun to get that with you, because I do think you look quite lovely in that dress, Kiwi, and I think it suits you well. It was funny because Kiwi and I both kind of favor darker colors, and when we were looking for clothing that fits this era, I mean, most of the clothing is on that lighter spectrum of colors, whites and blues and yellow, maybe not yellows, but definitely lighter colors. So I think a yellow would probably work. And Kiwi tried on several of those dresses, and we were just like, this just feels wrong. It doesn't look like you. So we're both very happy that you found a dress that fits more of your vibe, that darker color with the brighter. Oh, a trial. Don't need gems right now, so we'll go for this. I need more Ares boons. The more Ares boons we can stack early, the better. And Zeus can suit our needs pretty well too for DPS down the road, I suppose. It's just Ares is objectively the thing we're most interested in, or God, I suppose.
Decided there, young man.
Static discharge. Yeah, we'll take that.
You would deny such aid as I would offer you? How rather disappointing. You've more to learn about the art of dealing death, it seems.
I had taken Family Favorite on the mirror pack today, or on the mirror buffs today, because I didn't expect that I would be able to so easily apply status privilege, but I guess as it turns out, I guess I can apply it pretty easily. I find it for like Artemis and for Ares in particular, I find their debuffs, or rather their curses, a lot harder to apply and then maintain on enemies to like fully benefit from them. Zeus I could make that argument for as well, but he does, usually when I'm building Zeus, I have it on a attack that attacks rapidly, so I'm constantly reapplying Jolted.
A war can only last so long, my kin. This one is not worth the pursuit, I think, when we can wage a greater one together.
So, let's see, what do we get? Battle Rage is okay. I would really like to see Dire Misfortune or Impending Doom, but I'm not going to waste a reroll here. We'll want them for higher tier boon options, mini boss chambers and the like of that. I guess since it's a trial, it may have increased boon rarity, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I know for like mini bosses, they have the little skull and the golden laurels around their chamber preview, and those definitely indicate that you're going to get a higher tier buff or boon rather, if you go to them. So I'll hold out on these rerolls for now. And we'll take the shop most likely. HP isn't bad, but yeah, I think I'll go for the shop here. I don't want anything from... May as well heal up a little bit. I did get chunked. I had to toss out a Boldy just to heal up a bit more. Ooh, Poseidon and Hermes. I don't think I really want Poseidon in this build. Hermes is pretty solid. I'll take him. Not really anyway what we want. Let's reroll, see if we can get set up for rush delivery. Well, actually, honestly, dashes aren't bad here because more dashes means more dash strikes, and our build is very centered around dash strikes. Now, do I want that Poseidon boon? I'm not really feeling it. I'd much rather see Artemis and Athena at this point. Plus or minus, I could make an argument for Aphrodite, I suppose.
You know, I can't just let you walk away without a fight.
But I don't think we're really going to be going for a Curse of Longing build, so really Athena for her dash and her special to get Merciful End going. And then... I mean, you can never go wrong with Artemis. Crit chance just is busted, especially if it can affect your Doom damage. If we get enough Doom stacked up, we're just going to be critting like a monster. But yeah, so that was kind of the femme attire. We found a kind of black and red hat with this lacy stuff on top at another thrift store. Your mom looked at it and said, it's a funeral hat, and I don't think she's wrong. But at the same time, Kiwi, your aesthetic is funeral attire, let's be honest.
Can't be.
You're either the mourning attire, or probably your preference would be coming out of the coffin. You are a vampire. You are a closeted vampire. We both know it. What else did we find? We found some black gloves and this kind of like satchel that's sequined and black, of course, because everything is black for Kiwi. I want that Chaos Gate. What am I going to sell here? Honestly, Battle Rage is easy to part with here. I don't want to give up my dash. I don't want to give up my attack. I do think I'll take the Chaos Gate too. We could potentially get even more dash strike damage, which just sounds amazing for this build we're going down. Yeah, our damage, if we're going Merciful End, our damage should be prioritizing the Doom damage. But Doom damage plus really good base damage, not a problem for me. Alright, and easy choice, Chaos over coin any day. Unless there's a boon we really want and Chaos isn't going to give it to us without, well, not going to give it to us. right, let's see. Wow, he really wants, or they really want us to run a special build, don't
Something
they?
else.
All right. Oh, there's attack damage. Or from behind. Yeah, we definitely take the attack damage here.
Son of Hades.
And our second Hermes coming up. We're not set up to see rush delivery, unfortunately, but maybe we can get. I don't actually know what I would want from Hermes at this point. I guess attack speed would be fun. Although I don't know if attack speed actually affects the dash strike.
Next.
So I will say it is a bit rough to contend with the reduced dash range, but then you have to realize that the spear has surprisingly good range on it, so I don't have to like be melee distance like the way I have to be with the sword or the twin fists. So I kind of dash away from enemies and I can still reach them a lot of the time with that dash strike.
Thought I'd check in, cuz. See how things are going. Slow, right? Not for long.
All right, Hermes, what have you got? I'll take Greater Haste because there's still a chance we see a third Hermes in the final shop. It's not going to be a ton
Let's get out of here.
of setup. It's not going to be a huge buff off of Rush Delivery if we get it, but it's still a nice buff if we can get it. A minimum of 10% more damage from that Greater Haste isn't bad. Do I take the Mystery Boon? Do I risk it? Because there's Athena. I guess I'll start with the fish. I'll think about it because my thought process here is Athena is a must and we're guaranteed it now.
Bite this.
But
I am victorious.
I'd like to lock in Artemis if I can. I think I'm gonna take it. Oh, hi Afro. I guess that's our choice. We definitely don't take the special here if we're going for a Merciful End build. So I guess yeah, we'll get some extra AoE. I'd love to fight Charon with this build, but I feel like having reduced dash range right now is a bad idea. Of course, we get my favorite mini boss in all of Tartarus, or in all of Asphodel. And with my reduced dash range, this is probably gonna be a little rough. Just need to make sure I tag the Skull Crusher with some doom damage every time it pops down so that we whittle away its HP as fast as possible. Man, oh my goodness, I hate these bosses. No. Oof.
Baldy.
I tried to use Boldy for iframes there, and unfortunately I was a little too slow, but at least we did pop the Skull Crusher immediately.
Do not fear your father's cruel legions, cousin. Their lives are long since forfeit, and they cannot stand against one of your birthright.
All right.
Or against my power.
Oops. All right, Athena, give us... Okay, perfect. We got your special, your dash. I mean, we probably want to take the special so that we set up for Merciful End. Because the dash is really important to pop Merciful End, but we can't get Merciful End without her special. So we might even just see it this chamber. Come on, Ares. Nope. Okay. Impending Doom, though, fantastic. That's going to increase our Doom damage by 60%, and if we do get Merciful End, we're going to be instantly popping it, so that 0.5 second increased duration before Doom pops won't matter nearly as much. Now, I do have my special to reflect projectiles, but I lose my main damage source if I do that, because my special is not... Well, actually, I guess if I'm reflecting all of these projectiles, I don't really have to worry about damage, because all those projectiles, like, one-shot these enemies. It's mostly just a matter of can I kill them before they kill me, which is on Forced Overtime are always rough, man. Oh gosh, because they hit stun you. Though, like, you get hit by a single projectile. Yeah, I had to pop Boldy here just for HP, because like you get hit by a single projectile from a witch, and you get hit by all of the projectiles from a witch, because they hit stun you so hard. It's very hard to dash out or do anything. I guess that's one interesting thing that I have to consider for Hades gameplay. Is that when you are taking hits, what moves come out in a single frame? Kind of like what you have to learn in Smash, when you play a lot of Super Smash Brothers, is if you're getting comboed, oh, we got a Kiwi, we got Merciful End. All right, so we're not going to really benefit from Merciful End until we get Athena's dash. Again, because dashing into enemies pops it instantly. The special just takes forever to pull off, so it's not as reliable.
What have you been up to since I last destroyed your multitude of heads?
But most importantly, we have Merciful End on the table now, which is going to massively increase our damage once we actually can fully employ it. And even then, I mean, look at our damage. It's pretty solid. It's actually pretty darn decent. Like, I'm not one-shotting anything, but I mean, when the Doom pops, it's doing half a Lerny head in one hit, which is pretty nice. And it's only going to get stronger from here. If we get what is it, Dire Misfortune and Divine Dash, plus or minus Athena giving us a chance to crit, sorry, Artemis, but since we got Aphrodite, I'm probably not going to go 5 God on this. I'd rather have our pool be narrow and we get the boons that particularly benefit Merciful End. Probably end up taking Zeus's call and maybe go for a Smoldering Air combination. That would be pretty good. Not my priority. Well, there goes our Death Defiance. I'm not too worried about this. Although having reduced dash range is going to be particularly rough in Elysium when we get Flame Chariots and whatever the other chariots are called, or Flame Wheels and those bigger chariots. When they spawn, they're going to be a problem, I think. I'm not going to be able to dodge them very well, so we'll have to kill them as quick as possible. The thing about reduced dash range, though, is once you get Athena's dash, it does offer you a ridiculous amount of safety that kind of makes up for the reduction in the range. The iframes on Athena's dash are not to be
Enjoy your magma bath.
underestimated. I mean, there's a reason why Athena's dash is probably the single best defensive boon in the game because of how much you can benefit from it. All right, nothing in the shop. Ooh, this is. I mean, we don't actually need her special anymore, right? So maybe I sell that, yeah.
Could use the extra coin.
The only reason we took Athena's special was to lock in Merciful End. I'm going to take the coin purse here and use that money to hopefully buy a good boon from this shop. We'll see. But yeah, all right. Pretty good early game, I have to say. Serrated Flurry, or what is it? Yeah, Serrated Dash, Serrated Flurry, whatever it's called. Serrated, whatever. It's, all right, there's our hammer. Zeus is cool, but I think the second hammer could really make or break the build. We could get something really strong. Like, we could go Serrated Fury again, Flurry Strike with Serrated Point or whatever it is. The hammer we have, plus the one that makes us just non-stop attack, is always a fun combo. We'll be hitting left and right. Triple Jab might not be bad, because that'll give us a little bit more AoE on our dash strikes. I don't know, we've got some decent attack focus options. Obviously, we are not going the spin build, so of course we're going to get only spin focused hammers, or now we'll start getting special hammers after we've committed to an entirely different build. Probably how it's going to play out, but we'll see. These archers are a little bit rough, but we do melt them. Like, we have damage, it just doesn't come out instantly. It's a combination of an initial, I wouldn't call it a love tap, I'd call it a aggressive passion slash. Oh, there is Flurry Jab and Vicious Skewer, but no, we're taking the attack. Like, we have so much damage on the attack now with that, because we're just going to be, our attack speed is going to be insane. Like, look at this, if I can not get hit. But we melt enemies. The only downside is we only have one extra dash, and I don't have much dash range, so I may not benefit from it as much as I'd like to, but I still think it opens up an avenue of extremely good DPS, especially if we get Impending Doom, and especially even more once we get Divine Dash to pop Merciful End. Anyway, focusing back on the clothing, so I'm trying to think. So Kiwi and I were definitely exhausted by the end of this. She and I both have limited social energy when it comes to shopping. I think because of what we've been trained to expect from our parents, shopping is a lot of looking around and not finding something and then just going home empty-handed. And it's not only just frustrating, it's exhausting, because when you're shopping for someone else in particular, unless you're like, you have a vested interest in it, it can be exhausting. And for both Kiwi and I, this isn't the sort of attire that we particularly care to wear, so neither of us were terribly emotionally invested in it. But it was fun to just be out. No Divine Dash. Do I take the aid, Holy Shield, or yeah, I'll just take the aid. Athena's aid isn't bad. We could still set up for Smoldering Air and just have a very spammable shield. I think I'm going to skip the trial. We're down at Death Defiance. I'm losing a lot of HP to the Elysians. And oh yeah, I'll take Cloud of Judgment here, because now I can fill up the Athena God call faster. Another level on Impending Doom sounds great, and we'll take the HP just for a little bit of extra survivability. This is a tough choice, Athena versus Patroclus, but I am going to go with Athena here. The reason being, I think we can pop this butterfly ball pretty quickly, and Asterius would have been rough, but more importantly, we need Athena's Divine Dash to really get the build going, and I think a Divine Dash gives us more survivability than a single Death Defiance, if I'm being entirely honest. Like, Patroclus refunding our Death Defiance or even giving us attack up sounds great on paper, but there's Divine Dash, and now we have iframes left and right, and we can pop Merciful End. So not only did this room give us more damage, significantly more damage, it gave us significantly more survivability, and I think the amount of damage I will block with Athena's dash makes up for the like 100 HP that Death Defiance from Patroclus would give otherwise. Plus we have Athena. Oh well, this is kind to us. Awesome, fountain chamber. Let's see, what have we got here? I'll go for the coin. I think we want to afford, I want to be able to afford more Athena boons, because what I was going to say is, we have Athena in our god pool, which means Athena could just as well offer us a Death Defiance as a shop could. So I think the sooner we get the Divine Dash, the better, and we still have plenty of avenues to get a Death Defiance back. Not that we may even need it, but certainly with lack of dash range in this build, it's better to have some survivability where possible, because both the heroes and Hades are going to be rough boss fights for us. So let's stack up where possible. Plus I have Athena's Call. I have a lot of defensive tools in my kit that just stack very well with my face tanking, my minor face tanking requirement for playing this build the way it needs to be played. Like, I will say, overall, Athena's Call is kind of disappointing as a call, in terms of it doesn't do anything fancy, but what it does is still keep you alive, and that can be the fanciest thing you need for a run. I think I heard a Chaos Gate, but I don't know. I'm trying to get a sense of how to use this this attack that we have, because it seems like our dash gets cut short when I attack. And so like the full, I was trying to see, like, is the full range of my dash, pardon me, is the full range of my dash cut off when I attack? And I think it is a little bit, which again makes up for Athena's dash makes up for that a little bit, because it still grants us a short duration of iframes regardless of whether the dash gets canceled early by the attack or not. But here was the example of situations where I'm like, the flame wheels are going to be rough. They are going to be objectively annoying to contend with, and we're going to have a room full of them here, I think. Unfortunate. But I do have Athena's Call, I do have Athena's Dash, so there are several ways to deal with them, and while I can't necessarily dash across this entire barrier because of the dash range reduction, I can still dash around corners, and that does seem like it's enough to clip these guys into them. That said, I am going to take damage. It's much harder to avoid all of the things going on in this room. My goodness, that's a lot of projectiles and angry things chasing after me. But I think that's it for the room. Cool. All right. So honestly, handled that pretty well. Let's go ahead and put a palm level on the attack. I think we're getting diminishing returns on Impending Doom at this point. And then another Athena room. Cool. So actually, what do I want from Athena? I think at this point it's mostly just Death Defiance refunds, which is fine. These barriers are short enough that I should be able to... Yeah, there we go. I can dash across them well enough and block the chariots. This is my favorite strategy for dealing with the flame wheels. It works surprisingly well, unless they get kind of AI pathing. Their AI pathing just completely derps out on us, but when you're running a melee build, it's just so hard to contend with them without taking damage. So honestly, don't even bother fighting them unless you can one-shot them reliably, and with 2 levels of damage control, unless you have a really good multi-hit build, that's very hard to do. I suppose the Zeus build with Jolted could work for that, I suppose. Blinding Flash, honestly not bad. We're not going to be doing a lot in the way of back attacks, but it, well, I was going to say it can help us set up for status privilege, but we don't really have that. And another Athena boon. Last Stand, excellent. Okay, I mean, Proud Bearing is a little convincing just because it makes us be able to use our call a bit more sooner per room, because we stack up God Gauge very quickly.
Few others in Elysium are so unwise to take up arms against Asterius and myself.
Alright, Theseus, bring it on. But anyway, so I was saying, like, starting with our God Gauge a little bit full isn't a bad idea. We stack up God Gauge very quickly in this build because we're attacking so quickly and doing so much damage at the same time. I'm gonna have to use Athena's Call at every point that Asterius tries to dash at us, because I'm not gonna block it otherwise, but like, we are melting him. Like, there was a 500, almost 600 damage Doom proc. Oh my goodness, yeah, I'm gonna just... I think this is gonna be one of those runs where I just... accept that I'm going to be losing a Death Defiance, but also that I can melt them if I accept that loss, which... That gives us promise for how Hades' fight is gonna go, because I'll kill him faster than I
Gods on high, attend me.
Then I lose Death Defiance, at least. Oh, hi Asterius. Oh my goodness, I didn't see him coming, but thankfully I think I got the call off to block it. Genuinely though, if I can charge up 1 greater call against Hades, I can probably melt his entire HP bar before before it wears off. There's our Death Defiance, but we have iframes. I'm just gonna melt the bull. Theseus is a little annoying because I have to get behind him, but I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. Yeah, we can get a whole bunch of attacks off on him. I'm surprised that didn't hit me. I always get hit by that move. And we definitely don't have the dash range to easily avoid it. Demeter is being very obnoxious. She keeps spawning her winds in the area I'm fighting, or where Theseus is standing. Probably intentional, but it feels like they're supposed to be random. No matter, there goes Heroes. We're making pretty good time, all things considered. This is a pretty fast run.
To shut him up.
All right. Let's go say hi to my good Shade and move on to the final floor.
Thanks for believing in me, my good Shade.
Always say hello to your good Shade. He is your RNG guardian along with petting Cerberus. All right, let's see. What do I want to take here? Probably Acorn like usual. Yeah. The Acorn is such a good defensive tool, plus with all the other defensive tools we have. I'm still not convinced I can like reliably like it's interesting. If I dash and then attack, I can get most of the dash range, but there's a very tight window to get it off. If I attack and then dash, interesting. So this is a weird thing that I've noticed with Flurry Jab is if you attack and then dash, you attack, or if you, I think it's if you dash and then attack, you attack twice. You attack, dash, attack. If you attack then dash, you don't attack. As confusing as that sounds.
Got anything else?
I have to waste a reroll here because I don't want to sell any of this. Oh my goodness, we are not getting great luck here. Do I give up Greatest Reflex? I might have to, or yeah, I don't want to give up Impending Doom with Merciful End. That stinks. That stinks. Unlucky shop RNG, but that's what it is sometimes, unfortunately. Anyway, so yeah, with Flurry Jab, it's an interesting interaction. We have so much attack speed, I guess, that it tries to make you attack twice. So if I time my attack around the dash, yeah, it's happening. So if I dash and then attack, I end up attacking after the dash ends, and that's actually going to make me more prone to getting hit, I think. Not a fan of that. I might have to avoid taking Flurry Jab with Serrated Dash or Serrated Fury or whatever it's called. I cannot keep the boon names straight. I've promised Kiwi at some point I'm going to do a tier list of this game, and that will hopefully at least let me get the names straight once, where I see them all in a line and I talk about them long enough that hopefully it sticks in my brain. Speaking of sticks, though, we're going to be melting everything in sticks pretty well with Merciful End. Even if I did lose a dash, like, look at that. We pop our Dooms, and they instantly do 300 damage, which we've certainly seen higher Doom procs, but nonetheless, this is... we're melting enemies now. Merciful End is hands down one of the strongest DPS boons in the game. Anyway, back on the topic of Regency-era clothing, I guess. For your men's garb, we found you some fancy shoes, a kind of weird gray vest, a blazer that kind of has like the double button downs down the center, which fits the aesthetic a bit. No riding chaps, unfortunately. That would have been funny if we could find you some weird riding chaps. I bet those would have been really uncomfortable to wear and probably hard to fit too. I mean, usually chaps are made with leather or something tough to protect the outer skin or the outer leg. I guess I'll take sure footing.
Not yet.
I think we have hide and security on, so traps do a ton of damage. It really doesn't matter what I take there, honestly. More interested in this Ares boon. Hopefully we can get a dire misfortune, or maybe I just take the palms and toss them on the attack and impending doom some more.
Now, if I win this round, fish.
But we got a whole bunch of fish this run. I'll go ahead and just buy that Ares boon now. Let's see. Nothing good. I probably take Urge to Kill. Battle Rage doesn't necessarily synergize with our build so well, but it's still decent damage. It's 150% more damage. I'm gonna go with consistent damage though. For all damage, it's now 13% more. And we're probably gonna end up buying that Centaur Heart, so Life Affirmation isn't bad here. I don't really need it, but you know what? We're taking this chamber here since it's the mini boss. This will give us a nice solid like extra, I want to say like 13 to 20 HP. It's worth it. It's worth it.
I can't.
Doesn't hurt to be as tanky as possible going into Hades. We have most of our build. At this point, aside from Impending Doom, we have our build. So getting a little bit tankier just for survivability really isn't a bad option. We have the DPS. Let's just make sure we can survive with our lack of dash. And then, of course, you found this really fancy black and red bow tie, which you were very excited about. I don't know if it quite fits the costume's aesthetic necessarily, but we did learn how to tie bow ties together, which was fun. I've never tied a bow tie before. One of our professors in grad school actually wore a bow tie basically at all times, and when we were on our graduation day, when we were all graduating, someone brought in a bunch of like cheap clip-on bow ties, and we all took photos together with him, and it was really cute. It was a fun little day. All right, Satyr, 2 chamber sticks, not bad. Do I have any gold pots here? Yeah, we had one. Okay, cool. Alright, well, we can't afford the palm. I don't think I'm going to do extra chambers, so we'll just go ahead and take that centaur heart, and look at that. We just went from 200 to 300 HP.
Again persuaded fearsome Cerberus to get out of his way.
But between the centaur heart and the centaur soul in the shop and that mini boss chamber, we just got almost 100 HP in one go, which is pretty awesome. We're going to be pretty tanky. I'm not too worried about losing the run at this point. Certainly we have DPS, we have survivability. Not much more we could ask for aside from crit chance, you know, and we don't strictly need it.
I'm here, Father. Come on.
All right, Hades, bring it on.
You'll go not one step farther past this threshold, boy.
I beg to disagree, Hades. Observe. Step. Well, I guess I stepped away from him, but still. I wanted to toss out my cast just to get him, get boiling blood going. Boiling blood, you have to, like, as you get better at the game, you start to learn where your damage modifiers come from and which ones you really need to prioritize. Boiling blood is a 50% damage increase. It's insanely good. So making sure you have a cast lodged in every enemy you can, always worth making sure. I mean, there are some really fun builds where you have to give up that ability, particularly, of course, Trippy Shot and Glacial or Crystal Beam builds. And Crystal Beam, certainly, I don't think is really a cast that you really want to focus around unless you're going all in on it. It feels pretty lackluster, all things considered, especially without Crystal Clarity. Crystal Embrace the duo with Aphrodite just feels kind of rough, honestly. I don't think it's very reliable. It can do some pretty insane things, though. I'm going to make that happen soon enough, especially when we start playing with mods. I have a very clear plan in my head to just stack that boon into infinity and just get a laugh out of it. See how crazy we can get. I mean, we did have our 48 crystal beam run the other a while back. I would love to just see how far I can push that build with a mod just to break the game, you know. There's fun in breaking a game just because of good RNG, and then there's fun also in breaking a game intentionally just to push it to its upper limit. Either way, Kiwi, I am looking forward to this travel with you. It's certainly a little bit stressful because social situations and getting dressed outside of our comfort clothing is always a point of stress for both of us, I imagine. But I'm gonna hope that you have fun and eat a lot of good baked goods and fun food and have a fun, fancy tea party with your friends. And who knows? Maybe you'll get to make some new friends too. I hope you get to do that. But 3, 2, 1, goodbye, Hades. Alrighty. That was a pretty easy fight.
You broke through every one of my defenses once again.
Once again, the Serrated Fury build.
Fought well.
The DPS potential on it is nothing to laugh at. It chunks. It really does. Well, I guess it doesn't chunk it. It just shreds. I'm gonna say it shreds. It just tears flesh off of the enemy. All right, let's see what our end slate's going to be today. We're at 131 win streak, not bad, and a pretty fast spear front, all things considered, for me at least. Definitely aspect of Zagreus and Merciful End. Flurry Jab and Serrated Point probably makes sense. And Impending Doom, of course, is really strong. Or do I just honor the attack? I definitely have to at least honor the hammers, I think. So, unless there's anything else, let's see. No, I think that's it. No, that's a Chaos Boon. So, Serrated Point and Flurry Jab. Okay, it's called Serrated Point. There we go. All right, I feel pretty happy about that. That was a fun build. That was actually a really fun build, and we got some pretty good Chaos Boons to benefit it too. We had a lot of damage on the base attack, plus the Doom damage.
With such confidence, the prince neglected to avoid, stepping on a toxic strain of fungus. So rare, you'd not have heard of it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Angry mushrooms. Beware the angry, deadly mushrooms. All right, Kiwi, let's do our house roundup and call it an episode. I hope you've enjoyed watching. This was a fun build for me. I had a lot of fun, and I had fun kind of talking about what we're gonna do. I feel like I've either talked about this.
That was pretty good.
Forgive me, it has been a very long time since I last recorded.
They won't catch me sleeping on the job again.
So, I know I've talked about it somewhere. I just can't remember when. There's also a possibility you will hear me talk about it in the future instead, as I am actually recording this episode in post. I hope I didn't give it away too clearly during the run, but I was probably a little out of sync.
Keep an eye on things while you're out.
Unfortunately, this was recorded when my parents were visiting, and I just didn't have time to dub over it until now.
The watchdog's terrifying countenances greet the prince.
But I do try to avoid as...
What else can we do to contain you, I wonder?
I do try to avoid dubbing and post as much as possible. It's just for these 32 heat
May
runs.
you yet find your muse somewhere out there, my friend.
I chose to record a bunch of them when
you
loud
around.
things were happening around the house.
Work's just about over. See you out there.
Between our boiler being out of, like...
The wretched poker did it.
Between our boiler exploding, your dad doing his wood crafting with his fan saw downstairs, or my parents just
Here's
being
the
my
keys.
parents.
Maybe Nyx is with Chaos.
But
What are these shades up to now?
thankfully, I don't have too many episodes recorded in that fashion. So with all that said, Kiwi, let's go say goodnight to Skelly. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this song helps you fall asleep. If you're sleeping, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Looks like we're going to be running an Exegriff run next. Probably take the aspect of Eris, but we'll see. I'll decide off camera.
Can't do that.
Is what I would say if I didn't already know the answer to what I'm running. I just don't remember. Kiwi, I love you. I hope you're sleeping well. I will see you in the next one. Take care.
Eris.